Yeah, guys, we're going to head back to football here after a quick word from Skylight Frames. Say goodbye to sticky notes and scribbled plans on the fridge and overlapping calendar invites. The Skylight calendar is here to bring clarity to the chaos and help families stay organized without the stress. This sleek digital display syncs with your existing calendars, Google, Apple, Outlook, and so much more, making it simple to track appointments, practices, dinners, and reminders all in one easy-to-see place. What would it be like to eliminate the I don't know excuse from your family routine, and how often do plans get messed up because they're buried in a digital calendar and not written down anywhere at all? Well, right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/NFL. If you go to skylightcal.com/NFL for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That is skylightcal.com/NFL.
All right, Anthony, where are we going next?
All right, guys, so we've had some broader conversations in the first hour, and I kind of want to get a little bit more into the details of everything and take a look at the wide receiver room. Behind Jerry Jeudy, how worried are we about the depth in the wide receiver room? Because Cedric Tillman still isn't practicing as of yesterday.
Yeah, to me, that doesn't really matter. It's June. It doesn't matter that he's not practicing. We talked about Diontae Johnson before, but those are going to be the two guys that have the opportunity is Diontae Johnson, who has got to get the off the field and in the locker room stuff behind him, and Cedric Tillman, who was hurt the second half of last year and is obviously hurt right now, but should be good to go for camp. Those are the two guys that need to step it up, if you will. I think they will be the number 2 and number 3 receivers probably.
I think Tillman's got a chance to, especially if Flacco's the quarterback, he'll get the ball to Tillman. I mean, he's a big-bodied guy. I don't think he's ever going to be like an elite receiver, but I think he's got a chance to be top 3 here in Cleveland and get a lot of targets, you know what I mean, and earn him, more playing time and obviously maybe a contract at some point. But to this point, he hasn't really done a whole lot. He's been banged up, had the concussion last year. There's just a lot of stuff that have hampered his ability to stay on the field.
Outside of Jerry Jeudy, there's nothing proven whatsoever in that receiver. I mean, you can say Diontae Johnson in the past, sure, but after last year, that's not a given by any means that he's going to be mentally locked in enough to be the productive receiver the Browns kind of need him to be. So when the question is how concerned are you about the lack of depth, it is concerning. You have a couple of young quarterbacks, particularly 2 rookies, trying to establish themselves. And as an organization, you have to make a determination. Can either Shedeur, Dillon, Pickett be our long-term answer, or else you're probably drafting one high in next year's class. And with Jerry Jeudy being your only proven receiver, and even saying he's proven, maybe stretching the length of the word proven, because he had one really good year. And outside of that, he hadn't been that productive as a former first-round pick. The other names that we could mention, Michael Woods, Jamari Thrash, David Bell, DeAndre Carter, who they signed, a bunch of guys who are completely unproven too. So it's going to give Tillman an opportunity to make plays. He had that great 3-game stretch with Jameis before the concussion. Didn't come back, if you remember, earlier in the season. He dropped the pass from Deshaun Watson that was placed right between the 1 and the 9 on his chest that would have extended the fourth quarter drive against the Giants. They ended up losing that game. So he's not a proven commodity. We don't know what Diontae Johnson is. We'll see how Jerry Jeudy acts in his second year being the number 1, all eyes are on you kind of threat. There is no depth behind him. Nothing proven at minimum. And then this is a chance for some young guys to see if they can become a counted-on option in this offense. That's why I think Fannin and Njoku are going to be so vital in this passing game, because I just have, frankly, more faith in them than I do in a lot of the names at receiver I just mentioned.
By the way, Zach Jackson just said that Dylan Gabriel is with the ones again, and right now it's 7-on-7 on 2 fields, Flacco with the starters and Gabriel with the backups, day 2 of minicamp. So, yeah, I mean, I think we know the deal. We just talked about it already. It's an opportunity. That's how guys have to look at it. It's an opportunity for Diontae Johnson to put his career back on track, and it's an opportunity for Cedric Tillman to establish himself as a legitimate starting wide receiver. Any of the other wide receivers, to me, have no chance of success or almost no chance of success. Those guys you mentioned, they're all afterthoughts. They're late-round picks or guys who have done nothing in 2 or 3 years, so I have no reason to believe. I thought Cedric Tillman showed some real progress before he got hurt when he was playing with Jameis there briefly last year, and then he got hurt, and then that was that. So
he didn't come back from the concussion.
Right. Yeah. Which is
genuinely did not come back from the concussion.
Right. I know. So to be out that long with a concussion is obviously pretty scary. So, what's his injury now that he's dealing with? I don't even remember.
It's a lower extremity. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
But it's not. He's supposed to be ready for training camp, I think, right?
He may practice today.
Good. Yeah.
It does not, from all indications, not as serious to just be precautionary.
So
no need to.
that's not really a big deal. But I mean, he's a big guy, and there's talent there, right? And it looks, they wasted that 3rd-round pick on Schwartz, then they wasted a 3rd-round pick on David Bell. Hopefully, this 3rd-round wide receiver pick.
Gabriel might be a wasted pick.
Oh, really? Wow.
I mean, I'd be surprised if this guy ever ends up being a starting quarterback in this league.
I don't know why I'm surprised by that. I don't ever expect him to be a starter in the league. Isn't it funny that, and maybe it's just because of the name and the hype, but I expect Shedeur Sanders at some point to be a starter in the NFL, but I don't expect Dillon Gabriel to.
I asked Zach. I said,
Yeah.
so right now, if I were to ask you, like getting Shedeur in the 5th round, is that a steal? Like,
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, absolutely. He should have been drafted higher.
Right.
Like, clearly the guy can play. Which is exciting.
We all feel that. I mean, he was ranked. However you want to look.
He definitely fell.
It wasn't for on the field
he
stuff.
He fell further than he had to because it was like every other team had the same disease. They were all taking in the same poison, which is this guy's toxic. We want to stay away.
Yeah.
And then finally the Browns are like, yeah, you get to the point where like
This is ridiculous.
This guy can play football. Like we saw him play.
I think he may have fell out of the 1st round because teams didn't
He
think
should not
was
have
elite.
been drafted lower than the 3rd round.
But
absolutely,
beyond that, he fell just because of nonsense.
Yeah, I think 2nd round was probably where he probably should have gone.
Right. Yeah, it feels like if he was just Larry Anderson, random guy, he would have been drafted between 20 and 40.
Yeah.
And instead,
I think he would have been what's his face, the kid from like Ole Miss who got drafted.
Jackson
Yeah, he'd probably been drafted around that.
Right. And instead, once you felt like he wasn't necessarily a 1st-round talent, it led to teams being like, nah, I don't want to deal with it.
And then, by the way, these teams watch TV too. That's all he talks about for the rest of the draft was this guy falling, and then like, who wants to really take on that drama? Because you're thinking, wait, do these other teams know something that we don't know? And the Browns, I think, obviously, were like, yeah, this is bullshit. This guy can play.
Yeah.
5th round, like this is a joke.
Yeah. I can't imagine there's many people that think Dillon Gabriel's a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. I don't care where they were drafted. If the Browns are the one team that thinks that, then I'm going to suspect it's not true. They don't know what they're doing.
They've been on every quarterback evaluation for 30 years.
Right.
I never root against anybody.
Yeah.
But I'd be surprised if Dillon Gabriel's ever a legitimate starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I'd be surprised. I just don't think.
Well, then it is a wasted pick because you took him in the top 100.
Yeah, but potentially,
Yeah.
may get away with it because of Shedeur.
Right. Sure.
It's like with the 49ers when they drafted Trey Lance early, traded up to get him, and then took Brock.
Yeah, but the
Purdy.
Niners get
The Skins had one overall or two overall, with Griffin,
Luck was
and then
right.
Cousins
They
was
took
4th
Cousins.
round.
Yeah.
which was weird at the time.
It was weird at the time.
And obviously Cousins ended up having his most success in Minnesota, but still, I mean, it's just strange. But listen, it always comes back to the quarterback because until the Browns have a quarterback, they got nothing.
Do you think it's worth even just getting a look in camp at some other options at receiver? I don't have a list of the guys still available out there, but is it worth bringing in just some bodies to help evaluate what you have in Gabriel and Sanders?
I think if they were going to do that, they would have done it already, don't you think?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, what's going on with Keenan Allen?
He was the name that I keep thinking of.
I wonder why maybe he's not going to play
9
anymore.
years old.
He still was good last year.
He was good last year.
He was hurt.
Or
but,
productive,
he was
but
productive when he played. I don't know. If you're Keenan Allen, are you going to play one more year for the Browns?
Depends on how much.
Great point.
I'm just saying.
Is it about the money at this point for Keenan Allen?
Probably not. But I'm just saying that in terms of from a Brown standpoint, if
Yeah.
you're trying to truly evaluate and make a decision on can Shedeur, can Dillon, or can Kenny be our long-term quarterback,
Yeah.
I want to give them the best chance to succeed.
Yeah.
And I do think Keenan Allen, and I'll use him as the example, like he's an upgrade over some of the guys they have, even if it's just in camp to get a better
Yeah.
evaluation.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
just
if I'm
If I'm Keenan Allen, I'd rather. If I'm going to go to this division, I'd rather be in Pittsburgh.
If I'm Keenan Allen, I'm calling up Buffalo,
Kansas
Kansas
City,
City, Cincinnati,
Philadelphia.
Philly. I'm calling a team with a top quarterback, and I'm like,
Yeah. Well, he's never
I'll
won
play
either.
for minimal money. Let's go. I want to have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Can you imagine Keenan Allen as the slot receiver with Chase and Higgins? Imagine him with Patrick Mahomes
Tyler
what's
or
his name?
Baltimore with Lamar.
The GM for Tampa?
Jason Light.
Call Jason Light and be like, hey, I'm available.
You got
Because,
two
I mean,
other old receivers there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Make it
I've
drafted
third.
a
but, I mean,
Buka.
Baker spreads the ball around.
Yeah.
As well as anybody.
I wouldn't hate it, is all I'm saying. If
Yeah.
the Browns brought in one more guy just to give.
Well, we get it, but
We agree we'd love
Yeah,
it, but we
I
just
don't think he
it's
would come here.
reasonable.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with y'all.
What about a reunion with Amari Cooper? He's still a free agent.
no, Amari Cooper
No.
didn't end well here, as it has, unfortunately, for a lot of players.
I heard some stuff behind the scenes that it didn't end well either.
Amari?
Yeah, with Amari.
On his end or the Browns' end? Was there fault on both sides?
I think it goes back to when
Depends
they
on how
didn't
you want to
extend
look at
him.
it. Yeah, it all stemmed from that.
He was pissed about it. They paid all that money to Jerry Jeudy, who had not accomplished a thing, and here's Cooper,
And they made the right
back-to-back
call.
good seasons. Huh?
Turned out to be the right call.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper is probably washed at this point. I don't know if
Is he on a team right now?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
No, the top three right now are listed: Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, and Gabe Davis.
I think Davis just signed with somebody.
Yeah, Davis signed
This
with
might
somebody.
not be super updated.
Davis signed with.
I don't remember. The Titans? I don't know. I thought he did sign with somebody as well.